releasing my book, How You Can Get a Job at Walt Disney Studios Without a College Degree, I definitely didn't follow the standards of publishing. And when you think about it, the fascinating thing about self-publishing is how the practice is developing standards at all. Allow me to explain. You see, every fledgling industry, from filmmaking to automobile manufacturing to website development, were all in the wild, wild west when they began. And everything was a free-for-all. No standards, no commonality of practices. Everyone simply shot out and did their own things. But slowly, over the course of time, people learned what worked and what didn't work. People began to see what methodologies were successful and what methodologies were failures. The successes were imitated and replicated. The failures were cast aside, until finally they each became genuine industries with ways of doing things and expected behavior and standards of practices. Now, thanks to the internet, self-publishing is evolving into this mode of thinking too. I'll give you two prime examples: series and beta readers. Now, in the days of traditional publishing, obviously book series did exist. Duologies, trilogies, tetralogies, you name it, they were all out there. However, in the world of self-publishing, the series has become ubiquitous. Almost every single self-published author of fiction is working on a series of books. Personally, I think the idea of a series is lame. Don't get me wrong, some series are quite legitimate, such as Harry Potter. That is truly a long story with tons of flavor and character and nuance, and nothing feels like fluff or filler just to make the story a little longer. However, any series that is obviously padded with extraneous stuff just to make a full book is awful. You know, instead of writing 3 books of 200 pages each, I think a 600-page book is far more honorable and noble. Although I do concede from a monetary perspective, a series is rational. The reasoning behind it is obvious. It's all about marketing. You are establishing a brand. You are pumping out material that people will recognize. You're also ensuring an incentive to buy your next book and the one after that. From both a marketing and a money-making perspective, a series is understandable. But it does get a bit tedious when everyone is writing a series of 3, 4, 5 books or more. It kind of makes you miss the days when the series was not the selling point, but a beloved author himself was the brand, when the name of the writer sold every book, not the name of the series, when the quality of what is written under an author's name was what people looked for and couldn't get enough of. Then you have beta readers. This phenomenon is a new practice that never existed in traditional publishing. Since self-published authors typically have no editors, they develop groups of beta readers to read the book as it's in development, to help polish it. The literary equivalent of a test audience in the film industry. You query a small group of people and you allow them to make observations that cause you to change your vision and alter the story that was in your heart. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean, they help you improve your book. Now, if I sound snide and deriding of beta readers, it's because I am. Great filmmakers don't use test audiences. Great authors never had beta readers. Right? Professor Tolkien didn't use beta readers, or even an editor for that matter. Did Shakespeare have beta readers go over Hamlet? Did Da Vinci or Michelangelo have beta viewers for the Mona Lisa or the Sistine Chapel? Did Mozart have beta listeners for his operas? Yeah, nevertheless, series and beta readers work. That's what bothers me most of all. Although I may be snide and deriding, I must concede these practices are becoming standards because they actually work. They produce results They sell books. Now I know what you're thinking, saying, but Eric, surely you don't expect aspiring authors to see themselves as the next Mozart. Are you telling people to have an ego so great they can eschew these practices and still find success? You're darn right I am. You better think that highly of yourself, otherwise why are you wasting your time? Are you aspiring to greatness or mediocrity? No. You shouldn't see your work as being classic when you're 15 years old. No, you're permitted a few years, perhaps even decades of artistic self-doubt. But by the time you're writing the final couple books of your life, you better think you're absolutely amazing. Ultimately, really all comes down to following your gut. If you think a proven idea will fail, don't have any regrets about dismissing it. And if you think a crazy idea will work, have the courage to give it a shot. Feel free to play by the rules if you want to, but remember, the rules are never there to help you succeed. The rules are there to befuddle the competition, and the greatest success stories always come from the people who break them. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, and catch you next time.